Hey, I'm John Bollinger with Premier Guitar. Today we're doing a review demo of the Saturn Reverb combo amp brought to you by Supro. Now, Supro, up until just recently, if you wanted a Supro, you had to find a vintage one and hope that it's still in good shape. Recently, Supro was brought back from the dead, and these guys did it really well. Their first bit was to reissue some of the classic Supros from the past, and they did that really well. I think the new Supros are every bit as good, if not better, than the original ones. Probably better, probably more solid. But this amp, the Saturn Reverb, is their first proprietary new design on the new line. And it's really an amazing amp. It's a 15-watt Class A all-tube powered amp. And they've even gone so far as to put in a tube rectifier, the 5U4. Much like the original, the controls are simple and straight ahead. Starts with the volume, treble, bass, verb, which is a four-spring pan that's tube driven, and then tremolo over here, which of course is tube driven as well. So what they did is they've gone way beyond just the blue Tolex to make this a killer amp. It's a tip of the hat to the old school vintagey kind of tones, but it's updated and probably more solid and has some more, I don't know, kind of more options. To me, the original ones, they get a little flubby when you turn them all way up. But this one, this amp, as you turn it all the way up, which I'll show you in a little while, it manages to be gritty yet clean and without kind of a flubby bottom end. Anyway, before I tell you more about the amp, I'll show you everything else in the signal chain. I've got my 1967 Telecaster Custom. It's got a B bedder in it, and this is a DiMarzio pickup. The rest is stock. Brass nut, I guess. I've run into a T-Rex delay and an old Ross distortion that we'll try later on just to show you how the amp takes pedals, because I'm sure you all, like myself, I tend to run pedals in front of amps. So this will do a little taste test of that later on. Then we're running directly into the Supro. We're micing with a Royer R121 mic, going into an Apogee Quartet, and then into Pro Tools. When we came in, I had the verb up quite a bit and that lush tremolo up quite a bit, and the volume a little bit past half, and the controls basically flat. But that, I mean, that sounds so much like the original tone on that record. It's lush, man. That is just a lush verb and lush tremolo. If you crank the depth way up, it's just got that great spy tone kind of vibe to it. If we turn that down and bring the verb way up, it's really lush as well. Still going. Anyway, just a killer tone. So let's cut the verb back to a more reasonable rate, turn off the tremolo, and show you what it sounds like when we turn the bass and treble all the way up. Gives you a little dB boost and just gives you a great, kind of a great presence, you know? And to me, there's also kind of almost kind of a natural compression I'm hearing, which is awesome. Then, if we turn up the volume all the way, I found that you get this grit, but it's grit with clarity. So your notes are going to cut. It's not like a metal sound, but that's not really my thing anyway. To me, it's like the perfect kind of rock and roll, angry, almost Keith Richards-y kind of thing. Man, I love that tone. That is such a great, straight into an amp, rock and roll tone, particularly with single coils. Just seems to really take off and sound natural with a slight bit of compression, but just a great bass tone. Now I'm going to engage this delay. You can see how it takes pedals. And I'm also going to bring back my treble on my telly a little bit to kind of take off that high end a bit. I still have my treble and bass all the way up, but I brought back the volume a little bit. So here we go. Cool. Now let me try, I'll dial that back a little bit, then add a little overdrive. Man, I love it. Good, clean platform to add some dirt. So here we are. That's without the overdrive. Here's an on. I dig that. I don't know, this is a kind of amp that it'd be an amazing studio amp because you can turn it all the way up and get that tone. Also, man, I would gig live with this. I think if you're playing clubs, it would keep up. Might get, if it's a really loud band, you'd probably have to mic it to cut over, but you could conceivably play arenas with it, just have it behind you with the PA doing most of the work and dialing up that great tone. So pretty fantastic sound. Love the aesthetic of that old school Supro look, and love that reverb and tremolo. To me, you can never get that quite in a pedal. There's something about that lushness that's just hard to beat. I'm so glad this company came back because I've always been a fan of their work, and it's great to see them not rest on the laurels of their back catalog, but coming up with something uniquely itself, uniquely new, and probably more fitting to modern music. So it's a killer amp. You can read more about it at premierguitar.com, the written review there. And while you're online, make sure you've subscribed to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and check out the Premier Guitar site. We have all kinds of stuff for your gear geekery. This is John Bollinger. Peace out.
Don't forget to sign up for PG Perks, your all-access pass to exclusive gear giveaways and discounts on premierguitar.com.